Hello and welcome to the Fate of the Fallen read-along series, the final episode. In today's video, I'm actually going to be following the same structure that my writing group follows. First, we give some good positive feedback, then we give some negative feedback, let the author ask some questions, then give another final thought. We're just going to assume that Kel Kade is asking for my solution, and I'm gonna give it. And hopefully if Kel Kade ever watches this video, she thinks of me as a good critique partner and not as a malicious dark friend. Wrong series, but if you are interested in Wheel of Time, I've got some videos you can check out once you're done with this one. So I've got my notes up, ready to start my writing group. So positive. I love supernatural changes, especially like when they happen to characters and they affect how the characters, like they affect the characters like psyche and change how that character acts and interacts with the world. And Kel Kade did this several times in Fate of the Fallen, which was awesome. For example, the dragon arm, the kid being able to see Meropa in like limbo, those are both really interesting changes. I also thought that Aslo getting magic was set up really well, that it didn't seem like this cheap trick at the end of the story. We'd gotten the lore of the world early on to know that Fays existed and to know that he should seek out a Fae for help. I also really liked the two thieves' involvement. It was really interesting to see how their skill set was able to help Aslo and eventually defeat the foe. I don't even know, like the tree. I also really liked the God Realm. We got a bigger view into it the second half of the book, and that was really, really interesting to me. I wanted to know a lot more about the God Realm and get deeper into, like, I guess, the politics of that world. Some negative items are, number one, the second half of the book lagged. I also hoped for more character development throughout the story, especially the main characters, but honestly, the majority of the characters didn't really have much character development. The climax was pretty anticlimactic for me because it was in Meropa's point of view. While she was mostly observing the events, it wasn't as exciting as I guess there's a couple options. It could have been in her point of view and she could have done something, or it could have been in Aslo's point of view since he was the person doing basically everything. So sorry, I got a little prescriptive. My final thoughts are that the world that Kel Kade presented in Fate of the Fallen was really interesting, and there were also a lot of trope bending concepts that were really creative. And also the prophet, I don't know, something about the prophet was super charming. When I begin a rewrite, I typically identify a few important items. So we've got our one-liner, synopsis, a couple of characters. Then I start diving into the plot. I come up with a hook, several plot points, and a resolution. So today we're going to go through that process. However, it's going to look a little bit different because I have already thought through this and I have already come up with all these answers. And now I'm cheating and just copying them down for the sake of a faster, smoother video. So our one-liner for Fate of the Fallen would be: the chosen one dies, best friend takes up his mantle. Okay, so that's the plot in one sentence, basically. The synopsis, I'm actually not going to write a synopsis because there's a blurb and the original book. So that's the basic synopsis of the original book. I want to keep that synopsis, keep the book's integrity, and not just like write a new book. Ugh. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the protagonist. The protagonist is Aslo, Forrester. He's a lone wolf type character. if it were me, I'd probably go into a little bit more detail. But like I said, there's a book. You can just read it to know who Aslo is. Okay, the Chosen One. That's an important character in this story. So I normally wouldn't put a Chosen One. I might just leave it a protagonist. Depends on the book. Sometimes I might put like a second, like a sub-protagonist or something. So we've got Matthias, arrogant, and fun. Then actually he's a magician, maybe mage. I don't know what his occupation is. Student. Heroing. We actually have two antagonists in this, at least in my plot version. So we've got the God of War, which I can't remember his name, but I think it started with a T. And then he is manipulative and nonchalant. Then our secondary antagonist is going to be somebody that Aslo actually deals with, and that's the leader of the foreign magic army. Don't remember names, so we're just going with that. So we're going to start plotting. Our inciting incident is going to be basically like the thing that makes the character go out on the journey. So in this case, it's going to be the Marquis of Dovermeyer comes to look. That doesn't make sense. Looking for someone to cure the blight. Marquis. Okay, Marquis of Dovermeyer. Trifel 1. So Trifel cycles, these are big plot points. The character's gonna try towards the main goal, but they're, at least in the first two, they're going to fail. So in this first one, Aslo leaves to take care of the blight with Matthias. Matthias is killed by secondary antagonist. So he tries to leave to take care of the blight, but he fails in that, like, he's stopped and his best friend dies. So here Aslo decides to deliver the news of the death of the Chosen One to the king instead of going to take care of the blight. So our second Trifel cycle, this is going to be about halfway through the story that this hits. So en route to deliver message to the king, Aslo is hindered by the God of War's foreign henchmen. So the whole time he's still just trying to deliver this message. But he's getting blocked. He's failing again. Then Trifel 3, Aslo realizes that curing the blight will get him attention from the king and attempts to cure the blight, but is hindered by, you guessed it, the foreigners. So he is still failing, and it looks like it's just not going to happen. But he gets help from the Fae and uses his minion zombies to cure the blight. Okay, and his resolution is Aslo delivers the message. He gets the king's attention, delivers the message, thwarting the God of War's plans. So this is important because the God of War is an antagonist for Aslo, and so we actually have to have something happening with the God of War, even if Aslo doesn't know that the God of War is there. So thwarting the God of War's plans, that should be an apostrophe S, because So how he's sorting the God of War's plans is the king just doesn't care about going into war. He knows that it's over, and so he's not going to fight back. That's it. That's how I would at least start my rewrite for Fate of the Fallen and fix some of the issues that I saw. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this rewrite. Like and subscribe, and click on the cards for more Fate of the Fallen. See you in the next adventure.